The Dr. Ray Podcast is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio. Here's today's monologue with Dr. Ray Guarendi.
Our entertainment radically shifts the way we think about just about everything. Two abouts in that sentence. The common ones are guys are buffoons, they're doofuses. You never see a commercial. You never see something where the guy is competent and he can help the woman who is less competent. No, that is not allowed. That is breaking the gender law. Or the ones I really chuckle are the cop shows where the women in high heels, 5'6", 128 pounds, chase after the perp with the male detective or the male police officer 6, 8, 10 steps behind, trying to keep up as she grabs him, throws him to the ground, and in 4 seconds has his hands behind his back, handcuffed. And he gets there a few seconds later. Yeah. Hollywood has its ideas the way we are supposed to be. There was a show, I truly enjoyed the show. It was called The Middle, about a family in Indiana, the day-to-day travails of this family, the standard life of an American middle-class family. He worked at the quarry. She had a number of jobs, struggling through selling cars and then as a dental hygienist. They had 3 children. And, of course, the remarks about the 3 children from other people were, wow, you got your hands full. 3 kids, can't imagine it. That was a steady amount of remarks. So therefore, once again, telling you how you're supposed to view normal life. The kids were all exaggerated forms of everyday kids. Brick, the youngest one, was this savant who was just absolutely brilliant, even though socially he was very immature and he had some developmental disabilities. Axel was the most obnoxious of the 3. For much of the show, he was a teenager. And he was surly. He oftentimes argued, gave ugly responses to his parents, whereupon they just kind of shrugged their shoulders. Never did anything about it. I never saw Axel ever get disciplined for his mouth. Ever. And the implication was, come on, Dr. Ray, they're not going to discipline on a comedy show. I got that part. But the implication was, this is what teenagers are. This is how they act. This is their moodiness. This is their chronic lack of disrespect. And Axel was kind of cruel to his siblings, too. Not so much Brick. Brick was kind of... Axel had a soft spot for Brick. But Sue, his younger sister, he just was rough on her. Now, every so often they showed a soft side of Axel because they wanted to not make him be totally a jerk. But nevertheless, his persona was that of an unpleasant, surly, difficult, argumentative, disrespectful teenager. Now, I have no doubt that the writers of that program pretty much occupied the stereotypical character life. Everybody knows that's what teenagers are, don't we? They're all just like that. They're not all just like that. And neither do they have to all be like that. I've noticed something. Anecdotal observations on my part. But I would like to see somebody do some kind of more particular survey on this. Homeschooled teenagers, by and large, as a group, are probably not as difficult, argumentative, challenging, surly, moody, as their public private school educated counterparts. Now, this is not necessarily a slam against private education, public education. It's just simply that. The point I'm making is that it is not automatic that because you hit 14, you act a certain way until you're 19. I cannot imagine a farmer, those of you, for example, in Iowa, downstate Illinois, rural Ohio, southern Wisconsin, a farmer, 100 years ago, talking to his friends. My boy, he turned 14. One of them teenagers now. He was nice up to this point, but I'm not going to get any help out of him now. He hardly wants to do anything. Very uncooperative. I got to push on him to get him to do anything around here. The other farmer saying, yeah, that's the way they are at this age. That's just the way they are. You think that? I think that farmer was ecstatic that his boy was 14. He was indefatigable. He was becoming a young man. He was strong. He could go forever. He was excited that this young man was getting older. He wasn't worried about his disrespectful attitude or demanding more freedoms or wanting a smartphone. Oh, come on, Dr. Ray. Come on, Dr. Ray. You're sounding like my great-grandpa. It's not my point. My point is that much of this stereotypical image of the surly, difficult teenager is not so much developmental. It's cultural. And characters like Axel bespeak of that cultural stereotype. You just kind of got to live with it until they become human again. And you could see that in the attitude of his parents. They sort of just shrugged their shoulders like, that's Axel. Do they outgrow it? Yeah, some. In the meantime, there's a lot of ugliness going on in family life. And some of them don't outgrow it. Some of them just become more obnoxious as they get older because they've learned the habits. I guess what I'm saying is, just because it might be culturally typical for a 15-year-old to act more difficult than they used to act, doesn't mean it's good. And it doesn't mean it's going to just go away because they're going to add 4 more years to their age. Watch out for these misguided, at the very least, and ugly, at the worst, stereotypes that the entertainment medium is just delighted to throw at you because we all know that's just the way it is.
More of Dr. Ray's monologues can be found on his website, drray.com. Monologues as well as full-length programs of The Doctor Is In can be heard at AveMariaRadio.net and EWTN.com/radio.